Halo Infinite as a game was the latest rendition of the series that did exactly what it needed to bring the story of the series back on track. It took elements from the highly proclaimed older titles and improved them with a modern video game twist. But this doesn't include the modern need for a TV adaptation because whoever wrote this was off amphetamines. But the only thing that's arguably bigger than the storyline of this beloved series would be the game's multiplayer modes. Halo was always considered a great multiplayer game, with some of the earliest and most popular esports events being done through Halo titles. I mean, what game really embraced teabagging like Halo did? This was peak human evolution. Its fast-paced gunplay, custom maps that allow for creativity, and the all-around variation of each match that you played made the early Halo games some of the best fun in the market just based on the multiplayer mode alone. However, with Halo Infinite, the multiplayer is a little different. With the mode being a standalone free-to-play title, taking the modern battle pass and pay money for cosmetics route that games like Fortnite are so well known for, it definitely divided many of the OG fans of the game. And when the game was first released, it lacked many of the beloved game modes that the games usually had to offer, like the custom maps I just mentioned. Luckily, over time, modes like this were added back to the game, but it didn't change the fact that as fun as the multiplayer could be, it didn't quite live up to what it used to be back in the day. And 343 obviously hears this despite giving a quarter of their workforce the boot from their jobs, because they've aimed at adding yet more content from the older titles into Halo Infinite through the game's seasonal updates as an effort to attract back as much of an audience as they can. And with this, it was just recently leaked of a possible upcoming game mode that's going to be making a return to Halo, which may be exciting news for people that are looking for a dose of that classic fun. Just like a dose of my classic Patreon. If you want to support the channel, gain access to exclusive videos that'll never go to YouTube, or be able to watch my channel videos earlier than when I usually upload them, feel free to check the link in the description below and become a Patreon member today. Now, this supposed leak comes from the YouTube channel of Unseen Halo, a YouTuber devoting their online presence to all things Halo related. However, as of right now, the video that showed the leaked game mode making its return was taken down as a copyright infringement claim from Microsoft themselves, so either this leak is real or they were just taking out their anger from the challenged Activision Blizzard deal on this random YouTuber. But what was the game mode that was making its return? Well, it was apparently none other than the classic mode of Infection. If you're unfamiliar with Infection, this game mode splits the player lobby into two teams, one with only melee weapons and the other with basic guns. The team with melee weapons has to try and kill, or in this case, infect, as many of the players with guns as possible, and each kill that they get turns the person with the gun into a player with only melee weapons, growing the infected team with each kill. And obviously, for the team with guns, their objective is to outlast the infected before the timer ends, so overall, the whole game mode is to see which side can last longer, and it is extremely fun. In fact, not too long ago, I made a video talking about how Call of Duty recently re-added this game mode into their latest game as a way of capturing nostalgia, similar to how 343 is planning to do so with Halo. So it's pretty interesting to see how game developers reuse these tricks to make their games try and be successful as their previous titles. But just hear me out. I know they're probably not going to be watching this video, and that's their loss that they're not tuning in to hearing my sexy commentator voice, but wouldn't it be better if they focus on adding new modes? I think the reason that the infected mode was so popular back in the day was because it was fairly new to the game and people hadn't experienced it all like that before. Also because it was like 2011 and everything in life was better before 2016. But maybe if these franchises focused on new modes and new innovations, then I think the fans would respond well to that instead of complaining over recycled methods. I don't know though, man. I'm just a guy that spends too much time at his desk, I just felt like ranting real quick. Still though, overall I'm happy to see the return of this mode and to see Halo Infinite still get support after the game's multiplayer being critiqued up to this point. But we'll just have to wait and see if the game reclaims its glory in the future. So what do you guys think about Halo Infinite, man? Feel free to leave a comment down below, and as always, leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see y'all.